What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and today we have a special guest, none other than Nick. Runthefutmarket, controlling the market. How are you doing, my guy?
I'm doing fantastic. Just another rainy day in New York City. I'm loving the weather so much.
We're both in New York, even though we're not in person right now, getting rained on. Today we're going to talk about FIFA 20 investments and some of the do's and don'ts and just general information that is important. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure to drop a thumbs up. Talk to us in the comments. I'm gonna leave all of Nick's information down below. You guys have probably seen him on live stream, seen his YouTube channel, Twitter, you name it. He really does run the foot market. What was your profit margin from last year? Here's a moment to flex right now.
It's probably embarrassing to talk about because it shows how much I actually played FIFA, and FIFA 19 was such a poor game that I just would not like to highlight that.
Yeah, I don't know why Nick's complaining about it raining outside. He's not like he was going out there anyways. Just saying. Let's get started with some of the do's. So these are things that you want to do in FIFA, and it doesn't necessarily just mean at the very beginning of the game. Just a general good mindset. It'll keep you on the right page, on the up and up. Firstly, if you get meta players early, and a lot of people are going to ask us this at the beginning of the year, what should I do? I packed blank. Insert someone who's high rated that fits the game well and he's going to be impactful. And it makes sense to hold them. They're going to go up in value. I do want to give a counter argument very quickly. Of course, you should measure what you can do with that player. So if you do trade them right then and there, you put them on the market, is that influx of coins going to change something for you drastically? Otherwise, you should definitely be holding them because he's going to go up more and you could use him in the meantime.
100%. Well said. Like, that whole keeper sell dilemma is very tough. It's not easy to know. What I would say is that, yeah, there's definitely certain players, and I wouldn't say specifics because we don't know who you're going to pack, but if you pack a player that would be referred to the term in the foot community as SPC fodder, which would be usually a player that is a high-rated card, very good in real life, but just lacks that edge to be meta or popular on foot, that's probably a player that you want to take the coins on. Whereas if you pack a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Messi, those guys usually gain value pretty significantly for the first 2 months. So it's going to be that kind of process of coins while you sleep, where your player is most likely going to continue to rise as long as you hold on to them and just keep it and don't quick sell it. So yeah, if you can really use the coins on a certain player, maybe take it, but you need to definitely evaluate it, where if it's a Ronaldo, if it's a Messi, if it's a Neymar, those guys are going to gain a ton of value. And then you also have players that are not even that tier, but we talked about it, Davinson Sanchez, Rashford, Martial. Some of those guys will multiply 4 times in price over the 2 to 3 weeks that people start to get coins. We saw, I think Davinson Sanchez last year started off at like 20,000 coins and ended up being like 85,000 coins and extinct within 3 weeks. So you could have taken the 20K, but you know, if you already had some coins, maybe you keep Davinson Sanchez and you just keep him in your team and you're able to make that extra coinage.
Everyone loves residual income. And just to build off what Nick's talking about here, I'm going to simplify a little bit. If you get someone that's a god tier, so I'm talking Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruud Gullit, Eusebio, Messi, those guys are going to go up so much that it's really not worth selling early on in the game because the value that they increase is wild. I think Nick and I were talking before we started recording that Cristiano in the first couple of weeks was what, 1.2 you said?
Yeah.
And he went up to like 2.2, 2.3 as people increased their tally, increased how much money they had in the bank. They could pay more and he's worth it. Plain and simple, he's worth it. And that happens for that top tier player. And I'll give a couple examples, even though Nick didn't want to, of guys that would be more of your SBC. I don't even like saying throwaway, but their skills don't translate the same way. Would be like a Toni Kroos or a Sergio Busquets. And it'll probably be very similar this year, where if you pack them and somebody's paying, go ahead, ship that out, resurface the money that you got there, and go into players that you're going to be able to use right now. They're going to impact your team. And then the other category that Nick's looking at is more of your overpowered or, like you said, process of elimination. If you're in the Premier League, you're in the Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, and you've got one of the top 3 center backs, it doesn't matter if he's an 80 overall or an 83 overall. He's going to sell for a lot more because there's not many options there. Same could be said with fullbacks, center mids, wingers, strikers, you name it. So it's a really good type of player to be on the lookout for. And if he has a little bit of some hype train, there's definitely gonna be value there. If you can get on early, or if you can get in early, even if it seems like a high price point, just because people don't have the money yet, he's gonna multiply. The next do, And this isn't going to be popular, nor is it going to apply to everyone. But if you're spending money, you already put aside a certain amount, I'm not even going to go into details, a certain amount for packs that you're going to invest. Try to get your ultimate team, and when I say ultimate team, I'm talking about the best players that you want to put together in one squad as soon as possible. If you're doing the money route, or you've had some really fortunate pack luck, go get everybody. Go get everybody you can pick up. I remember in the first few weeks of FIFA, people getting their hands on Runthefutmarket or Eusebio, million coins. Can you imagine a million coins when both of those guys basically sat closer to 3 mil or more for the majority of the year, depending what iteration of the foot item you had in your club. But I can't stress that enough. I'm sure Nick will add to that. But the sooner you can get the big name players, the better, just because as more coins become available, people have bigger bankrolls, they're doing a better job trading. Everything goes up and up, inflation 101 until much later in the year. And you're gonna have to put in so much grind time and maybe even more money to get yourself into the position maybe you want. A lot of pros didn't get their premium team unless they bought in early until 3-4 months into the game. And pro players, as we all know, are putting in sometimes 6 to 10 hours a day while they're training and kind of building up to qualifiers and trying to get to events.
Yeah, and we always see on Twitter, especially I do, like people who spend a lot of money early on always flexing the coin total. But for me, I laugh because it's like, dude, go do something with the coins, right? Go spend them, go make a team. So it's so big if you're planning on to spend, whether it's $20 to some people spend $5,000. These crazy people. I don't know who spends that much on FIFA, but people do it. If you guys are spending in anywhere of like that kind of range of money, make sure you're buying a team that you can fill out in all positions, equally spreading out the funds. But yeah, if you spend a lot and or say you don't even spend a lot and you get a big pack pool, make sure if you do decide to sell it, get a Runthefutmarket, get somebody like that. Your team is going to grow, and there's nothing better than playing foot with a team that is just consistently gaining value. It's such a good feeling.
And maybe you won't get the team, but you can get a couple key players to your squad.
Yes.
But because they're increasing in value, you technically could sell them and then maybe pick up 2 players that are also going to keep your team tight, keep it ready to go, and they might even upgrade the overall squad that you have. But the point is, you see an opportunity, you better jump on it. And if you're investing money, or maybe you've had some really good fortune, you can make your year in the first couple weeks of the game. I know that sounds wild, but we see it happen every year, where guys are able to put together a team with 6 icons and going into the second weekend league. This year in particular, because I just believe that EA is going to offer more incentives with objectives. Grinding the objectives is also going to be a key. And not just the first week, but I'm talking about after a month, after a couple months, because you're going to get better rewards, better packs, better odds, more foot items, all the above. I think they tested objectives this year, and from what I witnessed from a community perspective, and even internally, just that EA was pushing the objectives so heavily from their social platforms, I think they're going to play a major role and be a key component moving forward in FIFA 20. Another quick tip, and this could kind of go under the do's or the don'ts, just depending which side of the spectrum you're looking at this from. But if you're building your team for the weekend league, picking up players Sunday, Monday is always going to be a good time. Later Sunday evening, because people are starting to sell off. And if you're selling your team, then you should also be waiting till Rivals rewards come through, waiting till weekend league rewards come through, because people have their payday. It's just like anywhere. If you get paid every Friday, for example, and then you come downstairs and then you got the fresh sandwich shop, he's going to do more business, I'm sure. If everybody's getting a check on Friday, they got some more excess money. They're thinking, all right, I don't mind. I'm going to pick up the sandwich. I don't think that analogy is great, and I don't know if it plays into this video at all, but the point is people are getting their rewards, and now they want to spend those rewards, basically. And by rewards, I'm talking about cash flow or getting packs that they turn into cash flow, and they're thinking, all right, where can I make upgrades?
100%. People upgrade their teams every week, man, until probably, and they even upgrade through team of the season. So people are always trying to upgrade their squads every week that goes on. Take advantage of the trends, use it to your advantage. They're pretty easy to read. All you got to know is just we got to figure out if the reward times are the same, and if they are, then it's going to be the same trend as the, let's say, the sell-off Sunday, Monday, and the, what should we say, panic buying frenzy, which starts usually Thursday afternoon, and it gets really crazy Friday night, because Friday nights are usually like when nobody's even listing their teams, and some people really panic buy to play the weekend league, because the weekend league starts really early Friday or late Thursday. So yeah, those are the trends you guys can take advantage of.
Now we're looking at don'ts, and I don't think Nick or myself would say that we've covered everything in this video. We're kind of jumping around. We just wanted to have a little more of a discussion. So if you guys want to insert some opinions here, that would be wonderful in the comments. But my first don't, and this has helped me so much over the last few years in FIFA, don't believe in SBCs, especially not early on, because we haven't even seen, 10% of the new foot items that are being introduced or opportunities. And what happens is EA's so clever, or they're sneaky, and you've got some coins in rotation, and you're thinking, oh, yeah, I want to use this foot item. You got FOMO. Yeah, I want to do this. I'm gonna knock out this SBC. You do it, you spend 200, 300, 400,000 coins. Maybe you use them for a couple weeks, and then you're done with them. And you can't get those coins back. And that value at that point of the game, massive. Game changing for a lot of us. And you've just completed an SBC that's not going to last you any further in the title. Basically, don't get baited. Be very particular with the squad building challenges that you invest in.
To give an example of what Mike was just speaking about and what happened in FIFA 19 was, to paint the picture for you guys, I think EA released like this knockout stage Champions League. It was like a new car design. It was like the 3rd or 4th SBC, player SBC. And it was an Insigne, and I think it was like 390k, 400k for a card that had like very minimal upgrades on top of his gold card, which was like at the time 20 or 30k. And it's one of those things where a lot of people fall into the trap because, yeah, they want to be cool, they want to have the newest card, but if you look at the end of the day, you see so many foot items around that price range of, let's say 400k was that Insigne. Most SBCs that got released throughout the year after that were just way better cards. So coins, liquid coins into players' tradable value early on are so important, especially with the market rising. Not putting your coins away into players early on that become untradeable are huge. I think there's only one SBC the whole year that I personally am annoyed that I didn't complete because
I wonder if we agree. I wonder if we agree.
Mike and I, what?
I wonder if we agree. Tell me who.
All right, Mike and I talked about this. We don't spend any coins on anybody, but my player that I deeply regret is Rio Ferdinand. I can't believe I didn't complete his SBC early on. There's probably another one or two, but that for me was like the biggest one. He's in my end game team. Like, he made my final team, and I'm just like, that card got released, I think, I think it was 2nd or 3rd week, and I don't know, you know, I'm so good now because I got so used to passing on things that, you know, I just didn't do it. So I would say to you guys, make sure that you're staying true to the dedication of not doing every SBC. But if it's an icon that's an unbelievable card and you think he's going to fit your team for, let's say, half the year. For example, my Michael Ballack was playing until pretty much the last few weeks of the game. I really enjoyed that card. I got over 1,000 games. That was some good value for me. Just figure out stuff like that.
And what you're going to get back in packs. You got to measure exactly what you have to put into this SBC, how much you have to personally buy. And another foot item that is an example that I really don't think was worth it was when Purple Hazard came out. And I remember you had to invest, I don't remember his price tag, I could go look this up, but he was extremely expensive. And he didn't end up being an endgame player for really anyone. And I think that he actually ran out of gas even after a couple months. So I don't know if that was a good investment in terms of just your time, your money, what you could have done with that money at that point in time. And my big regret was I didn't do the flashback Juanfran. And I've regretted that all year because he wouldn't be an endgame player for me, but he would have made so many squads for 4 or 5 months worth of time because I liked using Ramos, whether it was the basic Ramos. Then you had the Team of the Year Ramos, so I tried to get into the team as soon as possible. And I couldn't find the right links in terms of everybody fitting. So I ended up using Courtois forever to make sure that I got that Ramos on full chemistry. And I just really regret not picking him up. And he wouldn't even have been that expensive. But for the most part, stay away from the FOMO, skip it. And early on, you've seen so few amount of foot items. Nothing's really been introduced yet. It's just dangerous to go the untradeable route unless you are someone who puts tons of money or a ridiculous amount of time into the game, or maybe a mix of both. When you look at guys like Nepigan or Bateson, who both are going to put money and time, extreme amounts into the title, they kind of do it as a gotta collect them all approach. But most people aren't going to play 4,000 games of FIFA in 1 year. Or in Bateson's case, how much money do you think Bateson puts into a title?
I don't want to guess.
I'll throw a guess. I think like I'm just throwing a number out here, but I bet you Bateson puts in 30, 40 grand at least.
I was going to say more.
Yeah, maybe I'm undervaluing. I haven't.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that again. Maybe Bateson puts in 50, 60,000. I don't know. But that's not real life for most people. Same with Castro, the amount. Oh, I have no idea what he puts into the title. But if that's not you, you can't follow their recipe. You can't. It's not going to work. The Bateson recipe doesn't apply to Mike, doesn't apply to Nick. The Castro recipe, same thing. I don't even know how Castro gets hyped for some of his packs sometimes. Because I was like, man, you have opened some packs today, my friend. It's an actual grind opening that many packs. But good on both of them. The point I'm making is because some of your favorite creators or YouTubers or whatnot are watching or opening packs and spending money, doesn't mean that you're going to fall down the same path. Don't, in fact, do not sell your bronze and silver players, especially not early, because EA releases so many different squad building challenges that people want to get involved with, and you need a variety of players. So they're going to go up at some point. And this is really important if you are watching the market, if you're paying attention. What's happening in the footballing world? What's needed? What's necessary to complete everything that's happening in the FIFA space? These guys are not going to sell for 150, 200 coins or 300, 400, 500. No, if they're part of a marquee matchup or part of a huge SBC, anywhere between 5 to 10K a piece, all day, every day.
Exactly like Mike said, but the thing that I would like to expand upon is just the idea of it can't hurt you if you're buying certain silvers and bronzes, specifically at really low values, especially silvers. I feel like silvers are always the ones that I see going crazy, especially like last year. So silvers you can pick up at the minimum 150 a lot of the time, or 200 coins. And especially, I would say a big thing about this is maybe going back and looking last year at certain league SBCs and maybe seeing the teams that went a little bit crazier in price. And that would be helpful to you because you would know if a silver, maybe you couldn't get a specific silver for 400 coins, but he was one that went up like, because there's some silvers in 19 that they had to make the price ranges like 25K for certain league SBCs. So if you know that he's a guy that maybe had a price range update, maybe do some research in that regard. And to be honest, buying a silver for over 400, 500 coins is almost no risk. They will sell for most of the year. Most silvers sell in general, whereas bronzes are bronzes are like not risky because they're like penny stocks, but some bronzes just will never sell unless there's unless there's an SBC that's actually super meaningful that drags the price upwards, or exactly like Mike said, some marquee matchup, something like that.
Yeah, you're looking at bronzes being low risk to a low reward to a mid-level reward normally. Yes. Silvers would be still relatively low risk, a little bit higher, so maybe closer to a mid, but you're going to get a mid to a high reward, especially for what you paid for. And then with golds, they don't necessarily apply to the same dynamic. We're just talking about silvers and bronze. Nick, as you would expect, took that more to buying the players. I was saying more if you packed them, don't rush to sell them. Yes. That's something that I see as a mistake time and time again. You get a pack, you have a few silvers, and before you know it, you hit them on the quick sell. You get nothing back from that. And if you were able to measure, I guess, lost value, lost coinage, it would be serious, especially over the course of the year. The point is, don't rush to sell these players. Early on in the game, even in the middle portion of the title, hold them, pay attention to the market, wait for your opportunity to capitalize, unless you just have to have that 150 to, like you said, 500 coins, maybe at a maximum is what you should be paying. Well, that's kind of a wrap for our FIFA 20 investment guide, some do's, some don'ts, more of a conversation between Nick and I. If you have any subjects that you want to hear us talk about, put that down below in the comments. Of course, I'm linking all of Nick's outlets down below for social platforms if you want to follow him. I know that you're going to be dropping a lot more depth and detailed analysis in terms of when items come out. Is it worth doing this? Is it one to skip instead of one to watch? That should be a series. You heard it here first. One to skip with Nick Runthefutmarket. I think that has a ring to it, man. That has a ring to it. But I have a lot more content coming for you guys ASAP. Thanks again, Nick, for being on the. I don't even want to call this a podcast, but being on the channel.
Anytime, man. Thank you for the invite, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Show Mike some love if you enjoyed it. Thumbs up button. Comments are huge, guys. Make sure you let both of us know how you guys feel. Maybe certain tips you guys could leave from the comments that you guys, or not even tips, the do's or the don'ts and things that you're guilty of, or things that you're going to look out for a little bit more in the next installment of FIFA?
Learn from those mistakes. Peace.